There was a man named George, 68 years old, who walked into my clinic with a staggering gait. He admitted that just sitting on the sofa for more than 10 minutes left him too weak to stand up. He had to grab the armrest and gasp for breath. Body composition measurements showed that George had lost nearly 5 kilograms of muscle in just 3 years, an alarming figure, but not uncommon in people over 60. The irony was that he drank milk every day, ate eggs, and even added whey powder, yet his strength didn't improve. The problem didn't lie in a lack of nutritional supplementation, but in the fact that people are misunderstanding the source of the protein they consume daily. In many consultations, I've identified 3 common misconceptions that trap millions of seniors like George in a vicious cycle of muscle weakness. Only meat and eggs help build muscle. In fact, plant-based proteins, especially from beans, can provide all essential amino acids if the quantity and timing are properly combined. Beans cause bloating and indigestion. Soaking, cooking, and seasoning correctly can reduce up to 90% of discomfort, while beans also provide fiber, magnesium, and folate, nutrients that meat lacks. Older adults don't need as much protein as younger people. The mechanism of anabolic resistance requires us after age 60 to consume more around 6 grams per kilogram of body weight per day to activate muscle building. The good news is that the solution is completely within your reach and costs less than $2 per day for a bowl of cooked beans, yet holds a powerhouse of energy often underestimated by many. In this video, I'll show you how to turn this affordable protein source into the key to maintaining muscle mass, reducing the risk of falls, and living independently for longer. If you want to be able to stand up from a chair effortlessly like George after 3 months of rebuilding muscle, stay until the end of this video. Every practical step will be clearly explained by me in detail and made easy for anyone to follow. Before we dive into the main content, don't hesitate to give me a like, subscribe to my channel, and share this video with your loved ones and friends who are facing similar issues as George did, or simply as a way to equip yourself against age-related muscle loss. First of all, I need you to clearly understand the medical term sarcopenia. Sarcopenia is the technical term that refers to the age-related loss of muscle mass. Simply put, muscles are the engine that helps us stand up, walk, carry things, and even maintain balance. When muscle mass declines, everyday tasks become more exhausting. Research shows that after age 50, if we don't pay attention to diet and exercise, we can lose over 450 grams of muscle each year, the equivalent of a large piece of meat. As muscle mass decreases, so does strength. Weak knees, shaky legs, and even tripping over a carpet can cause a fall. Falling at an older age often leads to hip fractures, prolonged bed rest, increased risk of pneumonia, pressure ulcers, and the loss of ability to care for oneself. Not only that, muscles also store amino acids for the brain. When muscles shrink, the brain lacks fuel, leading to confusion, poor memory, and slower reflexes. Alarmingly, symptoms develop silently. Clothes suddenly feel loose, climbing stairs causes shortness of breath, upper arms feel soft, but many people think it's just old age. Decades ago, the common advice was to eat more meat, eggs, and milk to increase protein intake. However, a diet too rich in animal protein is no longer considered optimal because it comes with saturated fats and purines, which can increase cholesterol, uric acid, and put strain on the kidneys. As kidney and liver functions decline with age, filtering the metabolic byproducts of large amounts of red meat becomes difficult, leading to fatigue, loss of appetite, and a vicious cycle that accelerates muscle loss. Moreover, lean meat lacks fiber, vitamins C and E, and polyphenols, components essential for reducing inflammation and repairing muscle tissue after exercise. Therefore, modern nutritional strategies focus on diversified protein sources: fatty fish, legumes, nuts, low-fat dairy products combined with fruits and vegetables rich in antioxidants. A higher ratio of plant-based protein not only reduces the burden on the kidneys, but also provides magnesium, potassium, and fiber to help muscles contract efficiently and keep blood sugar levels stable. In parallel, people over 60 need to practice light strength training, standing up and sitting down from a chair, lifting small dumbbells, brisk walking. Muscles have a feedback nature. When properly stimulated and nourished, they stop shrinking and gradually recover, helping reduce the risk of falling, maintaining memory, and prolonging the ability to independently manage daily life. After clearly recognizing the risk of muscle loss and the drawbacks of a diet high in red meat, what option is both economical, gentle on the digestive system of older adults, and still sufficient in protein? The answer lies right in your kitchen, a type of food that is neither unfamiliar nor as hard to find as you might think. That's beans. Soybeans top the list thanks to their highest plant-based protein content. 1 cup of cooked soybeans provides about 28 grams of protein, equivalent to 100 grams of boiled chicken breast. The difference is that soybeans also come with 10 grams of fiber, helping stabilize blood sugar and supporting bowel movements, something chicken breast hardly offers. Isoflavones in soybeans have also been proven to reduce mild joint inflammation and protect blood vessels. The cost? At the supermarket, 1 cup of cooked soybeans costs around $0.27, while 100 grams of chicken breast often exceeds $0.94, a number worth considering on a retirement budget. Lentils are a friend to the heart because of their high magnesium and folate, vitamin B9 content. Magnesium helps muscles contract and relax rhythmically, reducing nighttime leg cramps. Folate supports red blood cell production and helps prevent anemia, which is common in older adults. 1 cup of lentils contains 18 grams of protein and up to 15 grams of soluble fiber, providing prolonged satiety and helping avoid unnecessary snacking. Black beans stand out for the anthocyanin pigment in their skin, an antioxidant that has been studied for its role in reducing the risk of peripheral nerve damage in diabetic patients. The protein content of black beans reaches nearly 15 grams per cup, which is still considerable compared to meat, while the fiber content helps prevent post-meal blood sugar spikes. These dark-colored seeds are also rich in potassium, which helps regulate blood pressure. Chickpeas are rich in tryptophan, an amino acid precursor to serotonin, so eating them at dinner can support deep sleep. Each cup also provides 12 grams of protein and 50 micrograms of folate. The creamy texture of chickpeas makes them easy to consume in soups or salads, especially for those with weak teeth. When considered as a whole, the combination of plant-based protein, fiber, magnesium, folate, and anthocyanins in legumes meets most of the nutritional needs to preserve muscle, protect blood vessels, and regulate the nervous system in people over 60. Unlike meat, beans contain no cholesterol and very little saturated fat, thereby reducing the burden on the liver and kidneys, which may already have reduced function. A suggested menu can be simple. In the morning, replace plain porridge with pureed soybean porridge. At lunch, have a lentil salad with olive oil. In the evening, add half a bowl of soft-cooked black bean or chickpea soup. Just 1-to-1. 5 cups of beans per day, rotated, can provide 25-30 grams of protein along with the ideal amount of fiber, enough to stop muscle loss in its tracks, reduce the risk of falls, and maintain independence for older adults. You see, we've just explored types of beans that are inexpensive, yet rich in protein. Now let's look at why they can help muscles after 60 recover more effectively than meat. Leucine is a key amino acid that triggers the process of building new muscle fibers. When we're young, just about 2 grams of leucine per meal is enough for the body to flip the switch for muscle synthesis. But after age 60, the signaling mechanism weakens, like a radio with poor reception, so the same amount of leucine no longer produces the same effect. Older adults often need 3 grams of leucine per meal, 20-30% more, to create a similar result, This is part of a phenomenon called anabolic resistance. Even with increased protein intake, muscle mass doesn't rise significantly because the body no longer responds as before. Protein enters the bloodstream and is burned as energy or stored as fat instead of being converted into muscle fibers. Lean meat or whey protein releases leucine very rapidly. Blood sugar and insulin levels also spike quickly and then drop, causing the muscle-building signal to flash only briefly. Older adults have slower digestive systems, so a large amount of leucine entering all at once often causes bloating and incomplete absorption. In contrast, the protein in beans, like soybeans, lentils, and black beans, is tightly bound with soluble fiber, so it is digested and absorbed gradually. The leucine and other amino acids are released slowly over 3–4 hours, matching the body's slower metabolism in older age. Thanks to this continuous supply, the muscles receive signals for a longer time, surpassing the anabolic resistance threshold, thereby increasing the synthesis of new fibers. Fiber also helps stabilize blood sugar levels, creating a steady insulin environment, an important factor for transporting amino acids into muscle cells. Additionally, the magnesium and B vitamins found naturally in beans support energy production within cells, helping muscles use leucine more effectively. Practical tip: each main meal should include 3/4 cup of cooked beans, about 130 g, to provide 2–5 g of leucine along with 15–18 g of protein. If chewing beans is difficult, they can be pureed into soup or blended into hummus served with whole grain bread. Spreading the intake evenly across 3 meals instead of consuming most protein at dinner will help maintain muscle-building signals throughout the day, reduce nighttime muscle loss, and allow older adults to retain the strength needed to stand, walk, and care for themselves. After learning how to portion beans to sustainably nourish muscles, the next step is figuring out how to eat beans without the discomfort of bloating, a problem that causes many older adults to give up halfway. Most bloating after eating beans comes from 2 indigestible compounds, raffinose and other oligosaccharides. Our small intestine lacks the enzymes to break these down, so when beans reach the large intestine, bacteria process them and release gas, causing bloating. In addition, the natural trypsin inhibitors in unprocessed beans slow down protein digestion, prolonging the feeling of fullness and discomfort. The most effective solution is proper soaking and cooking. Before cooking, soak dried beans in warm water for 6–8 hours, or overnight, changing the water at least once to remove some of the water-soluble raffinose. Then rinse thoroughly before placing them in the pot. While cooking, adding a piece of crushed ginger or a few slices of kombu seaweed helps break down oligosaccharides, reducing gas by up to 70–90%. For lentils or chickpeas, adding bay leaves or cumin to the pot provides a similar effect while enhancing flavor. In terms of cooking methods, a traditional pot on a gas or electric stove is easy to control and requires no special equipment. However, the cooking time is long 1–5 hours for the beans to soften, consumes gas, and requires frequent water monitoring to avoid overflow. A pressure cooker shortens the time to 15–25 minutes and retains more B vitamins due to minimal steam loss. The downside is that the gasket needs maintenance, and older adults should be careful when releasing steam to avoid burns. Canned beans are the most convenient since they only need to be opened and lightly rinsed with warm water to reduce salt before eating. Note that the sodium content in the preserving brine can be as high as 300 mg per half cup. For those with high blood pressure, choose the low-sodium version or rinse thoroughly 2–3 times before reheating. Canned beans are also softer, making them suitable for those with weak teeth, but their flavor is usually milder compared to freshly cooked beans. Regardless of the method chosen, start with a small amount, about 1/3 cup of cooked beans per meal, to allow the digestive system to adjust, then gradually increase to a 1/2 or 3/4 cup depending on tolerance. Drinking a glass of warm water after a bean-containing meal helps fiber move smoothly through the intestines and reduces constipation. If bloating still occurs despite proper soaking and cooking, taking digestive enzymes containing alpha-galactosidase, available at pharmacies, right before the meal can help reduce gas. Once the digestive system has been successfully trained, the benefits of beans, from preserving muscle mass, lowering cholesterol to stabilizing blood sugar, can be fully realized without the fear of bloating, allowing older adults to confidently include this protein bank in their daily meals. Once you know how to soak and cook beans to avoid bloating, the final step is determining how much to eat and how to plate your meal to get just enough protein while keeping your stomach light every day. First, adults over 60 should aim for 1.6 g of protein per kilogram of body weight. For example, a 65 kg man needs 80-100 g of protein per day. Divided equally into 3 main meals, each should provide 30-40 g of protein. The remainder can be topped up with a light snack if hunger arises. For beans, the easy-to-remember plate formula is 1/4 beans, 1/4 whole grains, 1/2 vegetables. Just 1 cup of cooked beans, about 150 g, provides 15-18 g of protein, plus 1/2 cup of brown rice, 5 g, and a small handful of roasted sunflower seeds or nuts, 7 g, nearly meeting the goal. The colorful vegetables help you feel full longer, add fiber, and keep blood sugar stable. Here are 3 easy meal suggestions with ingredients available at any supermarket. Chickpea salad. 3/4 cup boiled chickpeas, half a diced red bell pepper, diced cucumber, chopped cilantro, and a bit of shallot. Drizzle with a dressing made of olive oil, lemon juice, and ground cumin seeds. This dish is rich in folate, magnesium, and vitamin C, which enhances absorption of plant-based iron. Black beans with lemon sauce. 1 cup of soft-cooked black beans sautéed quickly with minced garlic, grated lemon zest, a pinch of low-sodium salt, and a small spoon of olive oil. Serve with a 1/2 cup of quinoa or brown rice. Lemon adds a fresh flavor and helps the body absorb iron better. Tomato lentil stew. 1 cup of red lentils, 1/2 can of crushed tomatoes, minced onion, bay leaves, and turmeric. Simmer for 20 minutes with 300 ml of chicken or vegetable broth. Squeeze in lemon juice before serving. This meal contains about 18 g of protein, plenty of potassium, and is easy to chew. To ensure a total of 30-40 g of protein per meal, simply add a 60 g slice of chicken breast or a 150 g cup of Greek yogurt. Both are low in saturated fat and easy to combine. Those on a full vegetarian diet can increase the bean portion to 1/4 cups or add 2 tablespoons of chia seeds mixed in warm water before bed. One small but important tip: always pair your meal with a source of vitamin C, lemon juice, bell peppers, strawberries, oranges, during or immediately after a bean-based meal. Vitamin C binds to non-heme iron in beans, doubling absorption and reducing fatigue caused by anemia. Finally, remember to drink 1-2 cups of water within an hour after eating so the soluble fiber in beans can work smoothly and help prevent constipation. By maintaining this plate ratio and daily habit, older adults will get enough protein, preserve muscle strength, keep bones solid, and still feel light and comfortable throughout the day. After clearly recognizing the risk of muscle loss and the drawbacks of a diet high in red meat, what option is both economical, gentle on the digestive system of older adults, and still sufficient in protein? The answer lies right in your kitchen, a type of food that is neither unfamiliar nor as hard to find as you might think. That's beans. Soybeans top the list thanks to their highest plant-based protein content. 1 cup of cooked soybeans provides about 28 grams of protein, equivalent to 100 grams of boiled chicken breast. The difference is that soybeans also come with 10 grams of fiber, helping stabilize blood sugar and supporting bowel movements, something chicken breast hardly offers. Isoflavones in soybeans have also been proven to reduce mild joint inflammation and protect blood vessels. The cost? At the supermarket, 1 cup of cooked soybeans costs around $0. 27. While 100 grams of chicken breast often exceeds $0.94, a number worth considering on a retirement budget. Lentils are a friend to the heart because of their high magnesium and folate vitamin B9 content. Magnesium helps muscles contract and relax rhythmically, reducing nighttime leg cramps. Folate supports red blood cell production and helps prevent anemia, which is common in older adults. 1 cup of lentils contains 18 grams of protein and up to 15 grams of soluble fiber, providing prolonged satiety and helping avoid unnecessary snacking. Black beans stand out for the anthocyanin pigment in their skin, an antioxidant that has been studied for its role in reducing the risk of peripheral nerve damage in diabetic patients. The protein content of black beans reaches nearly 15 grams per cup, which is still considerable compared to meat, while the fiber content helps prevent post-meal blood sugar spikes. These dark-colored seeds are also rich in potassium, which helps regulate blood pressure. Chickpeas are rich in tryptophan, an amino acid precursor to serotonin, so eating them at dinner can support deep sleep. Each cup also provides 12 grams of protein and 50 micrograms of folate. The creamy texture of chickpeas makes them easy to consume in soups or salads, especially for those with weak teeth. When considered as a whole, the combination of plant-based protein, fiber, magnesium, folate, and anthocyanins in legumes meets most of the nutritional needs to preserve muscle, protect blood vessels, and regulate the nervous system in people over 60. Unlike meat, beans contain no cholesterol and very little saturated fat, thereby reducing the burden on the liver and kidneys, which may already have reduced function. A suggested menu can be simple. In the morning, replace plain porridge with pureed soybean porridge. At lunch, have a lentil salad with olive oil. In the evening, add half a bowl of soft-cooked black bean or chickpea soup. Just 1-to-1. 5 cups of beans per day, rotated, can provide 25-30 grams of protein along with the ideal amount of fiber, enough to stop muscle loss in its tracks, reduce the risk of falls, and maintain independence for older adults. After mastering the strategy of storing beans and rotating the meal plan, you might wonder, will the results really be noticeable in your 70s? The answer lies in the real-life story of Beverly, which I will share right now. Beverly, 80 years old, living in Ohio, began replacing part of her red meat intake with soybeans, lentils, and chickpeas, following the correct ratio of 1/4 beans, 1/4 whole grains, 1/2 vegetables. After 4 months, her weight decreased by 6.5 kg, mainly around the waist according to ultrasound measurements. Her fasting blood sugar dropped from 128 mg/dl to 105 mg/dl, and she was able to sleep straight for 6 hours at night instead of waking up 3 times due to hunger or the urge to urinate. Notably, she did not attend any structured exercise classes. Her only additional activity was a 20-minute walk each evening around the garden. Beverly's results align with several large-scale studies. A cohort study tracking over 5,000 seniors in Shanghai found that the group consuming at least 3 servings of beans per week maintained 1.4 kg more muscle mass than those eating fewer than 1 serving, despite having similar physical activity levels. In the United States, a randomized controlled trial, RCT, involving 800 people aged 65-85 showed that 12 weeks of supplementing with 1 cup of soybeans per day improved hand grip strength by 8% and reduced the time to stand up and sit down 5 times by nearly 2 seconds compared to the control group that consumed chicken. The PREDIME study in Spain, famous for its Mediterranean diet, also noted that people who consumed lentils and chickpeas at least 4 times per week had a 30% lower risk of functional decline after 6 years of follow-up. The message is clear. As long as you persist with the correct bean portion, muscle mass can slightly increase or remain stable, belly fat can decrease, and sleep can improve, even without high-intensity workouts. With both scientific evidence And the real-life example of Beverly, adding beans to your daily meals is a simple step that delivers long-term benefits for health after age 60.